Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. So this is old news now because it's been a weekend, but yeah, last Friday, Zelensky came in to the White House and made a fool of himself and a fool of his nation. And again, this guy is... I don't know why people think this guy's the world's greatest leader. He's the world's greatest puppet. The guy is an actor. He's a dancing monkey, and he's dancing for the camera. I mean, he could have handled this behind closed doors. Instead, he chose to act like a child in public in front of the cameras and the media because that's what he is. He's a media guy. He is a dancing monkey, trained dancing monkey for his political hackery. It's like, Soros, he's a Soros guy. He's somebody that Soros propped up. He's a Soros candidate. So this guy got what he deserved. He got called out. If you're going to call out and try to parade people out in front of the media and, try to get the moral high ground, and then you go in and talk with people like Trump, who's actually a businessman, J.D. Vance, who's actually a military man. J.D. Vance was an enlisted guy too, so it's not like he's like the guy that's gonna he's not like an officer. He's not gonna play the political game. He's gonna cut through the BS and say, hey, I'm a Joe, not officer. I don't play this political game. So it was good to see this. If you are upset that Zelensky got thrown out of the White House or got kicked out, you clearly don't care about anything. I mean, you're clearly just a partisan hack who doesn't care about the future of our American soldiers.
Yeah. And then here's the other thing that everybody's talking about is this was like an hour-long press conference with him, and it turned sour only at the last 5 to 10 minutes of this video where J.D. Vance literally set him off with one question. And that was it. I mean, we can pull it up and watch it if you want.
And again, remember, this is the guy that was openly campaigning with Kamala Harris.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone forgets that he was in Pennsylvania during the election cycle, campaigning with the DNC.
Yeah. So again, I mean, he's lucky that they even hosted him. I mean, what country campaigns with a rival candidate? Talk about setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
So,
no kidding.
Yeah,
no kidding.
It's absolutely nuts. But again, why wouldn't this guy think he couldn't get away with murder, get away with whatever he wanted? I mean, we funneled billions to his country. He's living well. He's not struggling.
Yeah.
And now he's struggling because America's cutting him off. He no longer gets to suckle at the power teat. So it's nuts. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you can just start rolling through the stuff we've got to kind of prove kind of what our perspective on this is. So whatever you got, Chad. I mean, just...
Yeah, let's start with this one right here. This is, let me full screen this actually, and I'll bring up multi-screen. All right, so this is him calling, they translate it, he calls J.D. Vance a B word, So, I mean, for someone he's such a good world leader, he was so polite. Just no, he's not. You don't walk into somebody's house and call them a B word.
Yeah, especially when you're the one asking them for money and resources.
Exactly. That is the dog biting the hand that feeds them.
Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I have been to. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. I have been to...
Yeah. Wow. I mean, again, this guy's never been called out as long as he's been there. The European Union, the people just prop this guy up with I don't think he could have a rational conversation with anybody now. Again, he had the whole conversation for an hour was fine, and then the last 10 minutes were sour. This guy showed his hand. He showed his hands. All he had to do was play ball and be but again, he thinks he's tough. He thinks he's bigger than he is. He thinks he's too big for his britches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, when you're out there asking for people to come to your aid, at least be kind, courteous, and charitable. If he really cared about his country, he'd be I'm going to go on the front lines. And if he got, again, he would become a martyr for Ukraine if he actually had the balls to go out there and fight on the front lines. But he doesn't.
And then there's these videos that he was talking about of them. This is their military, like, inducting people into the service right now. Dude is running from them, and the military members jump out of a van to haul them away.
Yeah, why aren't these military guys that are, rounding these dudes up, why aren't they on the front lines? I mean, who's tallywhackers did they have to polish in order to get this job where they just go out and run around and capture guys that don't want to fight on the front lines? I mean, what does it go to show you? That the morale of your country is so low that your own people don't want to fight for their country. I mean, that's show you how well they're conducting this war. I mean, like you've lost all your patriots. They've all died on the front lines already. Yeah, we're winning. You're winning, Ukraine. They're doing so good. That they're doing so good that you're seeing this. I mean, and this is just one. There's a bunch. I mean, you can pull up more.
Yeah, I've got several.
So yeah, just start pulling up the other ones too. I mean, just to show you this isn't like a one-off thing, And again, Democrats. This is the world Democrats want. They want to be like, they'd be like, oh, we'll just round up all the conservatives and they'll go fight on the front lines. That's what you want. Like, whenever people are advocating for people like Zelensky, the Democrats are like, we're the ones that will send these people out. We'll be the ones telling the Gestapo to go out and round up certain people to go fight on the front lines because we don't need them or their opinions.
Yep. Here's the other one right here. They're yanking him out of his car.
Congratulations, you get the honor and privilege to serve on the Ukrainian front lines.
Mm-hmm. So here's just a funny meme right here is who performed better in the Oval Office, Volodymyr Zelensky or Monica Lewinsky?
Golly. Monica Lewinsky at least knew her place.
Yeah.
Volodymyr Zelensky, guess what he doesn't.
Yep. And then we'll get to this one first. I think this one is just great. Little
baby Vlad.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to
You
the
got
country.
just so you know, you have the videos in the wrong spot and the thumbnail.
I
in the wrong
know.
spot.
I'll fix it here in a minute. But I was going to show this one full screen. It's just like
Germany will
and the
become
reason why
totally-
all this crap is happening is because Germany and all these other countries are completely dependent on Russian oil. And remember, people were making fun of Trump because of it. Here's Seth Meyers making fun of Trump, being like, you guys are going to regret making all these
deals with Russia.
Mm-hmm. And look, he's right.
Trump did it again in September when he went to the UN and said something about Germany that was so detached from reality, even the German delegation couldn't help but laugh at him.
Germany will become totally dependent on Russian energy if it does not immediately change course. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers.
Not only are these dudes laughing, but look at this lady's face. She doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and she's from a country where this is a real word.
Wow, what great critical analysis, Seth Meyers, you dumb shit. Like, are you kidding me? Again, this is how most Democrats get their news right there, from Seth Meyers and people like Jimmy Kimmel and, Stephen Colbert. Guys, the German councils did elect to basically get the vast majority of their oil from Russia, and now they're hurting because of it. Mm-hmm. They've got the NATO and Germany in particular in a vice. They got them by the balls.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, again, back then, it was a punchline.
Yeah.
For comedians like the crappy comedians like Seth Meyers, be like, isn't Trump so dumb? Look at everyone else laughing at him. Again, the people who are in power, of course, they're going to laugh whenever their political opponent says something they think would never happen because they think that they're anointed, they're smarter, they're better than you. They can see the future. Mm-hmm. Apparently not.
Yeah. And then here's a news report from a few years back about Biden saying that Zelensky was extremely disrespectful when he came to visit him in the White House. So this isn't like something that's like off base for Zelensky. Check this out.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. So in this conversation, President Biden called President Zelensky to tell him about a roughly $1 billion package of additional equipment and weapons for the Ukrainian military coming from the United States. During the course of the call, President Zelensky continued, according to a number of officials who we spoke with who are familiar with the call, President Zelensky continued to talk about the additional equipment and weapons and support that he and his military needed. According to these officials, they said that President Biden finally just got frustrated and lost his temper and told President Zelensky, look, you could be a little bit more grateful. The reason that this story is interesting to us and is something that we are reporting on and officials are speaking to us about is because it shows that all these months ago, President Biden already realized that there was going to be a point where the American people, members of Congress, where people would start potentially pushing back on all these billions and billions of dollars of aid and equipment that the U.S. has been providing to Ukraine. And he knew that the narrative out there needed to be that the Ukrainian people and President Zelensky were grateful for it if this was the support.
See? Right there. Zelensky is that spoiled kid that gets everything he wants, and the moment that he comes to your house asking you for more stuff, they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You can be a little bit more grateful for the stuff that we're giving you. And he's like, no, I want more. I want more.
I'm entitled to it. How dare you not give me what I want? Again, if the same thing happened to Biden, why is it crazy that it's happening to Trump? I guess because remember, we're just weaponizing political convenience against Trump. That's all this is. They didn't report on this because it would have looked bad for Zelensky if Biden had a bad conversation with him. They reported it, but nobody picked up on it and like put it out in the news to be like, peace talks are breaking down. It's over. You know, I mean, of course not. They don't want to make Biden look bad. They don't want to make Zelensky look bad. And again, they're doing their best to make Zelensky look like the victim and Trump look like the bad guy. So, I mean, and there's a lot of stuff here. I mean, what else you got, Chad?
Well, I'm changing the side of the thing real quick.
Yeah.
But next one I have here is, if you can see it, if you're watching, says, when someone posts, I stand with Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine. Be honest. I'm being honest. And then, like, he asks her again, he goes, be honest. And he says, I just don't care about Ukraine. I just hate Trump. And that's really what this is.
Yeah. Again, this is not about liking Ukraine or thinking that Ukraine's the... I mean, again, if y'all remember, Ukraine, before the war broke out, they were writing articles in the Washington Times and New York Times about how the Ukraine is one of the most corrupt bureaucratic countries in the world. And then the Russian invasion happens and Ukraine's the greatest country on earth. All that corruption we were talking about doesn't matter. I mean, again, this is what we're talking about. You think the corruption disappeared because the country got invaded? No, it probably doubled, tripled. The people who have money and wealth and influence are going to milk that little teat until as long as they can, and then guess what? They're going to bail out with their dual citizenship or whatever else they got the minute things get bad.
Yep, 100%. Then this next one I have pulled up is weakling commie leaders who can't even protect their own citizens call an emergency European leaders emergency summit or whatever, and they invite Zelensky to join. So remember, the whole problem why like this kind of broke out was because they were inviting Ukraine to NATO. And that's basically kind of like what Europe's kind of implying right here with Zelensky.
Well, again, here's the thing, too. I mean, this is a bigger problem for Europe than it is the U.S. I mean, again, World War II was a bigger problem for Europe than it was the U.S. It's always going to be a bigger problem for people who share close proximity to these other countries. Now, again, this is just them all politically posturing, being like, we don't like Trump. If you had a bad meeting with Trump, well, we're here, and we're here for you. But again, remember, who pays the lion's share of NATO? We do. Who pays the lion's share of defense costs for vast majority of European countries? We do.
Yep.
These people need us. We don't need them.
Yep. Now, this next one you sent me, and I can't believe it. This man is crying about how Trump and Vance treated Zelensky.
Yeah, just check this out. It's insane.
I don't give a fuck what he wears. This man has been respectful to every leader in the world.
That's not true. Biden said so.
And you clowns want to fucking do that shit to him when he comes over here. and then talk to him like shit and kick him out of the White House. You fucking disgraceful son of a bitches. Man, I just want to be next to Zelensky right now.
I can't show you any more of that. I mean, he was already cursing up a storm, but I mean, that's a well-adjusted human being right there, guys. That's a well-adjusted man. This guy's acting like he can't go and join the resistance in Ukraine. Dude, if you really like Zelensky that much, go to Ukraine, bro. Seriously. Like, quit crying your tears on TikTok.
Yeah, right here. For all those people posting, I stand with Ukraine, well, I have good news for you. Foreigners are allowed to serve in the Ukraine National Guard. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Like, I mean, honestly, anybody that is, like, putting these bio things in their bios, you need to sign up for selective service right now.
Again, we need to go back to, I mean, they were talking about passing that bill a long time ago.
Yeah,
like,
in the 20s, yeah.
If you say that you want to go to war, if you vote to go to war, either you or your children have to go fight on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be the type of person who goes, we should defend Ukraine with our own troops, okay, guess what? You just volunteered yourself or your kids.
Yeah, it should, and we're talking frontline service. We're not talking like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're not in the rear with the gear.
With the gear.
Yeah, no, none of that. None of that. You're on the front lines. You're with me.
Yeah.
I'll take you in my infantry platoon.
This is what we're talking about. Is like, this is the liberal hypocrisy of, I am very liberal and cavalier with other people's money and lives, but the moment that it comes to my money and my lives, I am a little bit more concerned about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're not willing to go yourself or send your kids, then guess what? You don't get to have a say in this.
I'm a firm believer that we need to call the president right now and be like, hey, if they have a I stand with Ukraine, if they have a little Ukrainian flag in their profile picture,
we'll send the Zelensky squad, all of his Gestapo troops to go out there. They'll just go out there, show up to your house, drag you out, and throw you in the car and be like, don't worry, we'll put you on the front lines. We'll get you a rifle. Don't worry, America's paid for the rifles too, so you're good. I mean, you'll know how to use it.
Knew this was all coming. Zelensky, Vance and Trump putting the smackdown on Zelensky.
Dude, classic.
Oh, I love it. I love it. The memes are great with this. Like him as a little kid.
So good.
What's this one? Oh, yeah, I saw this one. You're in trouble when the Marine breaks out the knife hand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This is,
back to that one. There we go. Yeah, you're in trouble when the Marine breaks out a knife hand in the Oval
You got to
Office.
watch that. Like, that's some drill sergeant stuff right there. If we're knife handing you, that is, like, you do not want to be knife handed ever in the military, especially if you're out of basic training. If you're getting knife handed outside of basic training, you done messed up bad.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. What's this next one I have? Oh, yeah. I'm slashing the government. Dictator! Dictator! Says, I won't have another election until... Ukraine won't have another election. I'll stay in charge while we're at war. Leader! What a great leader!
It's like that Spider-Man meme with Mary Jane. He goes, he said it's not time to have an election because there's just too much going on. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess. I mean, even Lincoln, during the Civil War, we had an election during the Civil War. I mean, he could have declared, sorry, national emergency, I'll stay in power. President Lincoln still allowed election to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like, well... Ukraine. I mean, like, how many videos have you seen from Ukraine where, like, those girls are, like, doing their exercise bikes and stuff on the rooftops, and they go, just living in Ukraine. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Living our best lives in Ukraine. Yeah, it must be pretty bad there.
Yeah.
Next one I have here is, like, this picture was blowing up the internet when that meeting first dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S. appears to be the only Ukrainian in the room who understands how much damage Zelensky just did to his own cause. And, yeah, she's just sitting there like,
yeah, I mean, this woman is the one that's here. She's in the room. She understands the people in the room. She's the one that's here in the U.S. dealing with us every day. And then he just comes in and literally, but he just pulled the move of the Democratic Party. Just take a dump on the dinner table and see what happens,
Here's this one that's just below it. I mean, I can't believe this one. Fact checked it. This is true, apparently. President of Ukraine owns a $35 million home in Florida and has $1.2 billion in an overseas bank account. Zelensky owns 15 homes, 3 private planes, and has a monthly income of $11 million. Why is no one questioning where our aid is going?
A monthly income of $11 million? That's That's like 10 times as much as the president makes. That's crazy. And again, he's not going to the front lines. Like, he's not fighting. Like, again, if he died as a martyr, like, people might, like,
Let's
actually
check
think
this here on the fact check here. It says, record shows Zelensky does not own property in the U.S. Financially disclosure. It said, so, fact check and reality. So, this is why I love community notes right here. But, yeah, so, people are posting this. Like I said, who is this from? Major Tom.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's wild.
But again, how much of that USAID money do you think Zelensky pocketed? I mean, we already know that half of the money came back to the U.S. to fund Democrat, organizations, DNC groups. So, I mean, it's just a money laundering scheme. And again, I guarantee you he's getting a lot of it.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. So, but here's the video of it, just like her watching all Ukraine's hopes and dreams go down the drain.
Well, I mean, I'll say this too. It's like, again, it's like millionaires and billionaires. They actually don't own their properties. You know what I mean? They have they're either in trusts or they have like a LLC or something that owns it. So they don't own anything. So if they get sued, it's not them getting sued or their estate. It's a business or something like that. So again, it's probably true, but I'm sure he does have some type of land or property in Florida somewhere for sure.
There we go.
Because it's like what my girlfriend says about all the people who are in charge in Vietnam. Like, I mean, all of the political elite and the communist leaders, guess what? They're all dual citizens somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So whenever stuff breaks down or, there's a revolution, they have somewhere to go.
Yeah. Then check this out. Here's another one of a willing recruit signing up for selective service.
Oh, yeah, more selective. Yeah, woohoo. Yeah, this one's crazy, too. They just go over and just knock that dude off his bike. Like,
but it looks like he actually willingly goes.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do
when their bike in? I mean, yeah, exactly. You're surrounded by soldiers. What are you going to do? It's crazy. Crazy. What is this? I said get this one. Why is this one working? Oh, yeah.
You can
man humbling JD Vance.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. What is this one? Oh, yeah. Time to find out what really happened to the hundreds of billions of dollars we sent to Ukraine. What's this say?
We will give you back money after the war. If you can't
we will give you back the money after the war.
Can't give us some financial support. Okay, please give us a credit and we will give you back money after the war. If you can't give us some financial
that is
support.
Basically sums up everything
please,
he did.
Give us a credit.
Attending the White
and
House.
We will
just give me money. Just give me money.
Yeah. Again, a petulant child who gets whatever he wants whenever he wants. I mean, again, the Democrats just learned him. If Biden said that this guy was rude to him, and Biden was giving him whatever he asked for, like, what do you think was going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Here's another willing participant signing up for selective service.
Yeah, I think this guy's mom's there with him, too, trying to stop him.
Oh, that's Fleur de Lis. We should be able to play that.
Yeah, they're keeping his mom or girlfriend or somebody away from him.
It's his mom. It said his mom. Yeah. Just another willing participant in the Zelensky's war. And you have to remember, the problem is, like, everyone acts like the Ukrainians, like, all hate, like, Russia. A lot of the people in Ukraine are Russians.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a split. There's kind of a split divide in the country of people who would like to be back part of Russia and of people who just want to stay Ukrainian. I mean, that's the issue that we have here. Is like we have people that are there that are on both sides of the political issue.
Yeah, and you probably have people there who are relatively indifferent about who wins. You know, I mean, you have people there who are there like during Chernobyl and like on the Russians are always in charge. You know, it's like we're fine.
Here's another one. Another good one right here. This is the one that I posted on my profile the other day. It says, Trump is an embarrassment, embarrassed us with Zelensky. We need to support Ukraine. You know, you could donate your own money to Ukraine. I don't want a solution. I just want to update my profile picture.
Yeah, and again, that's all this is. It's just posturing. It's just ridiculous political posturing. It's all about who's going to post what on Facebook or what on Twitter or Instagram. Whatever have you. You know, This is modern politics. This is how people communicate in the modern day. We don't actually want to do anything. You know, it's like, again, I want to scroll through Instagram. I want to get the gym results without the gym membership, you know? I mean, there's no other way to describe it. I want to feel good without doing stuff that actually makes me a good person.
And here's this clown.
You can probably play that music.
Nah, I don't even want to.
I mean, it's international, so.
All right, I'll play the music.
Yeah, again, guys, this is the leader of the country. Again, you wonder why he does what he does or he acts the way he acts. He's been a monkey his entire life. He's been a performing monkey his entire life. And he was put into power because he is a compliant leader. With whoever's backing him, whoever's funding him, he's just going to do whatever they tell him to do, and then he's going to perform. Again, why he acted the way he did in front of the cameras with Trump is this right here. It's like, I've been performing in front of cameras my entire life. It's easy for me. This is what I do. And the guy's a joke, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, and like if President Trump did something like this, we'd be seeing all sorts of like, oh, what a
unfit
sexist,
for leadership. What a national embarrassment. But this, this is great. This just shows that he's relatable and he's got a sense of humor. Donald Trump, not so much.
Yeah. But that's really about it, unless we want to go in and delve in on the video, the long format of what the whole video was of them getting into the argument. I mean, legally, this is like the last 5 to 10 minutes of the freaking hour-long interview.
No, I mean, we don't need to. I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't at this point. Again, this guy who has gotten absolutely everything he's wanted since the war started, he doesn't look like he's starving. Doesn't look like he's suffering for anything. Again, he's drafting people off the streets. This would be like if somebody here in Owasso was like going for a jog or riding their bicycle, and then a black van pulled up, grabbed him, and it's like, hey, congratulations, you've been conscripted. You get the honor and privilege to serve. Mm-hmm. Again, if you had a strong leader, you'd be like, hey, what? I resign. I'm going to go fight on the front lines. And then it's like, you find out that leader, something bad happens to him, he gets wounded, injured. It's like, boom. Like, faith renewed in the country. And they go, wow, these are leaders I can get behind. But no, this is what you got. You got Zelensky coming over here and acting like a fool. So, again, you're being manipulated by the media. Obviously we're biased and we have opinions and perspective on this. But, again, I don't want to send troops, our Joes over there, to have to do anything on behalf of this little tyrant, this little dictator. Mm-hmm. So again, it means more to those who actually whose lives are on the line.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to see a single one of my guys got to go out there and fight for this. It's like, this is the guy. This is who we're going to put our troops on the line for and sacrifice their lives for.
And a country that is like just as, if not more corrupt than Russia.
Yeah. Just as corrupt as ours.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't we, again, fix all of our problems here? Like, guess what? Less troops that are here means less troops on the border. The border is going to open back up again, become more porous. Our problems are going to get bigger here. And then why we focus on problems that don't matter overseas. Again, it's all about distracting. It's all about, hey, this is what's more important over here, instead of taking care of and solving the little issues here in the U.S. So, I think that's about all we've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.